Nerd Fam? This is your boy Gershawn, and welcome to Into the Nerd. Today, we're going to be talking about the Suicide Squad, specifically what they revealed about it in DC Fandome, or you might be calling it Suicide Squad 2, whatever, right? It's not what it's called, but it's just called The Suicide Squad. That's the title. Now, this is supposed to be like a reboot slash sequel, which confuses me a bit because it does have some old members, and what they showed was pretty much who was on the team. And you saw some returning members like Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Rick Flag. Yeah, like you saw like those, and obviously Amanda Waller, right? And yeah, like those are pretty much it. I might have missed one, but that's pretty much it when it comes to the original. But then tons of other members, even some people who weren't even in a Suicide Squad in the comic, a few of them. For example, they had like Savant and Blackguard, all of which are they're actually, if you read the comic book, they're actually pretty interested. Like Savant is actually someone who runs into Batman. He's like a vigilante. He wants to be a vigilante, and pretty much Batman's like, your methods are a little too crazy, and eventually he does become a villain. Blackguard is actually a Booster Gold villain. There's also what I'm actually really interested in to see how Bloodsport comes in, because Bloodsport is actually a Superman villain. He actually was around during the Vietnam War, so I'm not sure if they're gonna go with that same story. But but I believe like his brother became like a quadriplegic, so like he hated everything Vietnam War related. Lex Luthor like hired him, gave him like a teleporter, and pretty much kryptonite weapons, and he was able to fight Superman and stuff. Yeah, he has a pretty interesting storyline. John Cena's in it. Not a lot of people like, oh my God, John Cena, why is he in this movie? He played the character called Peacemaker, who I remember in the comic. His father was like a general in like a Nazi death camp, and he was kind of trying to like live down what his father did, like trying to do the exact opposite. Literally starts like a whole foundation helping war victims, and he believes he hears like the victims of people he couldn't save, and like his helmet and his father's ghost is like taunting him, but he's crazy. It's not actually happening. So I mean, not to go into every one, I'm just gonna stick with those four for right now. Like just looking at what's happening with those, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very different from the first one. However, James Gunn has stated that people aren't gonna live to the end, so we're wondering who's gonna die. I have a pretty good idea. I don't want to give any spoilers based on like who these characters are in the comics, but yeah, he said there's gonna be a lot of deaths in here. I believe it's R-rated, and that's okay because Suicide Squad, the original one, was supposed to be. Now this just confuses me because what does this mean going forward for the rest of the DCEU? Are these characters going to show up in other movies? I mean, we know they're definitely not done with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, and they shouldn't be, all right? And she got the red, black, and white, which is really really cool in this. But what else does this really mean? I mean, it could be very interesting because James Gunn is a pretty interesting director, and we know there could be some pretty cool comedy. It's going to be entertaining, but I honestly I'm not sure where Suicide Squad's place is anymore. I don't know. I mean, the Joker was gonna be in this movie apparently, and now he's not. So I mean, and apparently they're supposed to be like liberating like a South American country in this one, and I mean that's cool. But I guess this is not by itself, right? This is still part of the overall universe. So I'm just confused as to what it really has to do with that. Like, how is it gonna affect everything going forward? Especially because everything else isn't really set in place anymore, right? Like, are they gonna reference Birds of Prey? Like, did that happen? Because a lot of these movies in a DC universe don't even have any continuity. But you know, we didn't really see a whole bunch of live footage. It was just the character reveal. So as of right now, I still don't know. I still don't know what's happening here. So I don't even have enough to say good or bad. I can just speculate. But because of the amount of stuff that I don't know, and I know how the original Suicide Squad, what was that? Suicide Squad was handled, it gives me a little room to worry. But let me know if you're like, oh, I love all these characters and this is gonna be an amazing movie, or you go, I'm a little worried too. I don't know what DC is doing. Let me know in the comments above. Comments below. What's going on? I'm like dyslexic right now. Yeah. So let me know what you think about it. And yeah. So stay tuned for the next video when we talk about more stuff from DC Fandome. And remember, enter the nerd.